Hello, guten Tag. We've got two protagonists from the movie Searching for Teresa. Tereska will talk not Polish. It's a Polish movie, and in Cottbus, as usual, a lot of Polish movies represent the Polish cinematography. And I'm very happy, to see Aneta and Patryk, which are protagonists of a documentary, what is something strange because documentaries, look for protagonists. Maybe you can introduce yourself in a couple of words. Aneta, please.
Hi, I'm Aneta, and I'm a journalist, freelance journalist.
Patryk?
Hello, my name is Patryk, and well, I was doing many different things in my life. I am officially IT technician, but yeah, I was all over the place.
So the movie is a kind of documentary road movie in the history. We can say it so, maybe I'm wrong, We've got a fact of the photography, very famous photography of very famous photographer. How have you found how have you started? How have with your research, and how have you found, the idea for this documentary?
So Patryk said that, so good voice.
Yeah, actually it's very, trivial how it started, because I have found this photograph, this picture, very online, basically on a forum, and I became very intrigued and fascinated by this photograph. And it was nothing really serious at that time. I just wanted to know more about the background of it. So I started to search it on Google and basically online. And I noticed that actually there is some contradictory description of this picture. And it didn't really make much sense. So I thought, okay, there is something fishy here. Maybe someone didn't do much, proper research. And eventually I have found a German charity foundation called Tereska, which has been founded by Gregory Siebenkotten. And in memory of Tereska, the same Tereska from the picture of, which has been shot by David Simmer. And basically, I sent him an email asking if he knows, if he has any more information about it. And I was surprised to receive an email from him stating that actually there is not much really known and confirmed information on it. And this is basically how it started, because I proposed to him that because I'm Polish, I can help him to basically to do something, and to basically start the research. And at first I was thinking about doing some kind of online initiative or whatever, but I decided to travel to Warsaw, where I have met Aneta, and this is where the proper investigation started. We joined our forces, and yeah, I mean, it started to flow.
It means you met Aneta on the railway station, because you've got this photo. Aneta, how have you got attached to this material or to this idea?
Oh, well, we were supposed to meet up with our friend who hosted Patryk on Couchsurfing, but I didn't have time. I had my voluntary job next day. I had an article to finish, but he said that Patryk is searching for some kind of girl from Warsaw, and maybe I'm helpful as a journalist. So I said, okay, just give me him to the phone. And when he said what's the title of the photograph and who the photographer was, I just Googled it, Tereska 1948, and I found her photo. Okay, and I said I will do what I have to do tomorrow. So let's meet up next to the Jewish Association of Children of Holocaust in Warsaw. Yeah, so because that was our first point to move forward. And what was amazing for me that was that the whole story started from just out of curiosity. Yeah, you see a photograph, you see a strange girl with strange painting behind her, and you just feel curious what was wrong with her, what happened to her, why she drawn this picture. So that was the first thing. The second thing was it was a matter of ambitions, because you read about this photograph and you read that no one before you, no one ever found anything about her. So that was the second thing. And the first thing is that you have to admit, Kornel, that when you look at Tereska, when you see her side, she's looking at you from this photograph. You feel like you had been sent a chill down right your spine. Yeah, it's horrifying. It's bizarre, and that's all. That's how it started.
Yeah, it means we have a picture, of a girl in front of the blackboard, painting something like, strange arabesque of anything of a chaos.
We have to add that she had been told to paint her home.
Yeah. Do you have this photo still in your mobile phone? Can you show it? Maybe it will be.
I don't have it. Kasper, gdzie jest album z Tereską? Because I have her big photo. I don't have it right.
Okay, okay, maybe because I thought, just to give a touch with the story to our audience, and then you started to work on it, yes, just for article for a newspaper or magazine, yes.
Yes, exactly.
And it took how many months?
2 weeks and a half. From the beginning, from our first meeting to the end, when I was talking to her brother and his wife, it was 2 weeks and a half, exactly.
Wow. Because in the movie, it seems that it's a very long, winding road, Okay, the article has been published. And then how happened that you started to work on the movie?
Kama Veymont, the director to be of this movie, phoned me on Facebook, and she wrote to me and asked me to meet up and to talk about the possibility of creating a movie about the searching of Tereska.
And you made a kind of rehearsal with her? Because another question, for you, how can you step twice in the same water? You are not an actor, neither you nor you. And it's not so easy just to, when you make research, you meet the people, you talk about, you own, and suddenly between, your story and the protagonist, whom you already met, is a camera and the director. How it was?
Patryk?
Well, it was, at the very beginning, it was weird because you needed to recreate some things which happened already. And as well, because it's a movie, you cannot show much of those irrelevant, things which are super boring in the normal life. And you needed to somehow, show it more interesting to the viewer. So the movie is much more dynamic than it was in the real life, in this sense. And as well, we explored actually some subplots which we didn't touch that much during the real proper investigation. I mean, like exploring the lives of other Tereskas. because it happened actually after the finding the real Tereska.
And for you?
From my side, it looks much easier than for Patryk. I mean, because during the research, I mean, not research, but during this movie shooting, I was also discovering another small pieces of this puzzle. I mean, I found where exactly David David was born. Exactly,
yes.
was born. The exact place that his father's publishing company was situated in Warsaw. I also found the director of Tworki, I mean, that's mental asylum when where Tereska passed out. And I was still searching for something, and I was just putting a little puzzles that are not shown in a movie, but will be in a book that I'm writing about the whole 3 Tereskas that appears in a movie.
It means that not only a sequel, you know, but
so I keep writing about that.
You said me it was about 2.5 weeks to research and write the article. How long took you know the shooting?
About 20 days.
20 days.
Yeah.
But we were shooting in April or May, then in July, and then also in September. So, you know, it didn't have a line up shooting, but different days, different months.
And how was it for you to meet yourself with your story on the screen?
Oh my God, that's horrible, because I have seen this movie 20 or 30 times before, because we were cooperating with Kama also on the plot. And you know, for me, it's funny because sometimes people still ask me to show them this movie, and it takes around 1 hour long. And I try to do something else to clean up at the place, because I've seen so many times this movie that I'm a little bit fed up. I don't want to say that it's not good for me. It wasn't good for me, but no, I know this movie every second, like the classical Polish movies that I've seen, or even Seven from United States, about serial killer. So I've seen this movie around 100 times, and I know every step by step, every moment of this movie.
Yeah, you know, I noticed that you are, you know, somehow very close to the movie business, because you even, you know, mention Blow Up from Antonioni, yes, on the stairs. And how was it for you? You have to learn the dialogues or not? Or it was very spontaneously?
It was mostly actually spontaneous. I mean, we had a script, but basically we were kind of free to say it, you know, using our own words and yeah, go with the flow, basically.
Yeah, I told Kama not to send me parts of script, because I wanted, in this unnatural situation, I wanted to act as natural as it's possible.
Because for the people who don't know the movie, it's, you know, they are exactly, you know, is the searching with you. It's a part of documentary, in different way of showing it. It always also a kind of mise en scène with Tereska, you know, as a girl, as she was a young girl, you know. Oh, it and closer to the camera, I think. Oh, it's not. Oh yeah, now we can see this girl Tereska with his very strange eye looking somewhere, you know, behind the horizon, and with this strange picture. It should be her home, or not?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah. Well, it's really, it's I've got a bracelet to see the picture, and I've got, you know, very fascinating to meet so many Tereskas, because there is, you know, a beautiful scene at the beginning as you started the research. You visit the Jewish community in Warsaw to get, you know, how can you call it, a free letter for the research, and they warn you somehow that's not an easy way to make a research. But 2 sentences. One is, don't forget a joy on the way. It means during the research. And secondly, maybe you will not find the right person, but so many people are waiting to be found. And the way to find the people is the right way. How it was for you, the joy, and to meet the people, and new people which haven't you expected to meet.
Patryk.
So yeah, I mean, it was really an adventure basically, because at the very beginning we assumed wrongly that she is Jewish, that Tereska is like a survivor from a concentration camp, and that was actually like the more prevailing narrative about this photograph before our research. And we found out that actually she wasn't a Jewish, and she was a Polish, in fact, and that was really very surprising fact. I mean, we didn't expect that, and yeah, I mean, it's the entire investigation when you research something for the first time, something what no one else has done before, you find that there is so many coincidences, so many weird, you know, weird events happening that you consider them to be kind of meaningful, but at the end of the day, they are irrelevant. But it's not really like that. I mean, of course, there's this Tereska at the end of the road, but the entire experience of exploring every single kind of like a subplot to the main investigation is really wonderful experience, and something what is difficult to really find in other way. I mean, maybe like scientists who discover something for the first time, they have the same kind of feeling. But yeah, when you dive into the past, it's really weird feeling, very like intimate actually.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, those 2 weeks and a half were awful. I mean, although it sounds very pathetic, but it was, of course, a kind of sinusoid of joy, of hope, of disappointment, etc. But for those 2 weeks and a half, I was smoking 2 or even 3 packs of cigarettes every day, one after another, one after another. I almost didn't eat, only one pizza every 2 days just to eat something and go to search another pieces of this puzzle. Of course, it was horrible for me when I found out that the first Tereska, the one found through the grave, through the message on the grave, first of all, that she passed away 1 year before we found her. And second time when it found out that that isn't the right Tereska, and that we are coming back to the first point. And the same night, I got this proof that it's not the same Tereska. I mean, that was at night, and at the morning, I got a phone call from the director of the school that Tereska attended to. And she told me that we missed one Tereska. I got her surname. I searched the internet. It turned out that's only 13 people with this surname in Poland. I found some in other part of Poland, in Silesia. So I was waiting for almost 2 days to meet up with her brother, as it turned out, because I expected that he can be, I mean, Dr. Marek Adwentowski. Sorry, Dr. Marek Adwentowski can be related to Tereska in some way, but it turned out that he was her brother that was born exactly in 1948, the same year that the picture was taken.
Now I understand somehow, you know, you let the camera into your private room. Patryk is somehow not you, and now I understand.
Because I don't live in Warsaw.
Pardon?
I don't live in Warsaw. I'm not from Warsaw.
Well, but you live in Poland, you know.
Well, actually, yeah.
And then I understand, you know, the absent mother, when you smoke 40 or 60 cigarettes, girl, look for a proper life, for a proper job, you know, full of, you know, mother heart and, you know, love. And she sent you, she asked, pray to the God to find the Tereska or to find a really good life, you know. Does it help? Because in the movie, it looks as if it helped, you know, this trip to Częstochowa, to Holy Black Madonna. Or it was just a joke of the director?
No. That was true. My mom is a strong believer.
Yeah.
That's the way I was raised up. And first of all, I don't smoke cigarettes next to my mother. So
still doesn't there.
For me, so I crossed the fingers to go for this year holiday, Christmas, because we scheduled to stay there for a week. So that's 1 week detox for me from cigarettes. But answering to your question, I was raised this way, and I think that I believe in God or in space or anything. I believe in energy that is every time and everywhere and doesn't disappear when we die. So I think that I also believe in destiny somehow. First of all, that I felt that I was chosen to found Tereska. First of all, and the second way that the whole story found an unexpected ending for me because Tereska's grandson, this handsome guy that showed us her picture at his place, is now my fiance. So, so yeah, I believe in some kind of energy.
The grandson of the wrong Tereska?
Yeah, grandson of the wrong Tereska. But
great, that's the story of this Jewish, you know, guy who said, you know, you will meet maybe 3 or 4 Tereskas, you know. Congratulations. That's a, you know, side effects of making movies, you know.
First when we met, she asked me, what's the real link between you and Patryk? Because, you know, it would be a kind of we at the end of the movie we find that thanks to Tereska searching, you two guys meet up and start the fling. That was not Patryk, sorry Patryk, but anyway, ended up.
Well, you know, I've got almost the tears in my eyes, you know, when the David Seymour has been still alive to get, you know, through this research, you know, such a wonderful love story. Wow, it's great after this very sorrow story of really Tereska, yeah? It means you answer somehow very directly how changed the movie or Tereska your life and how changed Patryk, how changed your life, Tereska.
Well, first of all, I'm looking kind of differently now. I'm at different photographs from the history, from the past. Basically, I don't take for granted information which are usually provided because I am now aware how badly researched are some of the backstories of some of the photographs. There is kind of like a myth, you know, around some of those photographs, and it's not always 100% truth. There is some kind of, I would say, poetry to it. People add up things to it. And the second thing is, of course, the plight of children of war, which is a very serious issue even nowadays. And Tereska, you know, she became a symbol but she was at the same time forgotten as a person. And this is something what I have kind of, I don't know how to even call it, emotional issue with it. When, I see pictures from wars or from catastrophes or other bad events where, and on those pictures, on those movies, videos, there are people, children, men, women, whoever. And you treat them, like a symbol or just a photograph. But in fact, they are real people who, at the time of taking this picture, they suffered. And probably they still suffered at the same exact moment as we talk now. And this kind of connection, it's overwhelming, kind of, to look at it from this kind of perspective, that these people, those kind of people are, alive. They are real persons with families, with friends, or maybe lack of them. And they just suffer somewhere. And we, in like Western Europe, we very often treat them just as a symbols, just as pictures, just as something which is not that real. But you see, Tereska was real, yeah? And those people who we see are real as well.
Okay, my turn.
Yes, sure.
Just to sum up, I wanted to say that it's not shown in the movie, as I remember, but the first Tereska that we found, I mean, this Jewish girl, old lady at the time we were to her, she said out of camera, that's not me, but that could be me. I mean, and then I realized that the stories of all Tereskas, all three Tereskas that we found, are equally important. So that's how I found out an idea to write a book about all three Tereskas, not the right one, because she said that it's not me, but it could be me, and that means that. Tereska's photograph could be representative for all children of war, that all dozens of millions all over the world, even now, as Patryk said.
Yeah, that's true, because everybody put his own emotion in the pictures, and start to build its own story. I can even remember, I've got just a case with pencils as a child, and there were Indians as attacking, the pioneers, somewhere in United States. And I could spend hours and hours, talking my own story to these pictures, and somehow you open it with this picture for everybody, a great, possibilities to find its own story, to inspire yourself with a simple picture, to find, who is this person? For me personally, it was a great trip with you, film, with you protagonist, and I could learn a lot, and I could meet you, and I hope a lot of audience guests of the festival can meet you, and then will be inspired, maybe not only watch the film, but to have another look on the pictures, Yes.
One last word. And notice what Gregor Zipenkoten said, that she had this chance to tell her story by the picture. And there's a lot of people all over the world that pictures never will be taken, and no one even know his face or his or her face when she's suffering, when she's dying, when she's in pain, when she suffers from the war, and yeah.
When I think now about my mobile phone, who should tell the story about this thousands of pictures which I have done last years, and all of them are full of emotion, that's the picture, Aneta, Patryk, I think we have to finish slowly, you know. Thank you that you found at Sunday time, you know, to meet us and to meet, you know, the audience of festival. Thank you for the festival, just to be courageous, to invite such a not easy movies, you know, but very important movies, and that the strong part of the festival in Cottbus. Thank you also for supporting. I think it's the foundation of Polish-German cooperation. And last word belongs to you.
Thank you, Kornel. Cheer up the festival, guys.
Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. I stop now and